Hello YouTube, Damo_23 here and welcome back to another video on the YouTube channel. On today's video, it's my game week 11, preview, my game week 12 look ahead. I know this video is out slightly later than normal, but I will explain why that is in just a second. But as always, give it a like, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and let's get straight into it. Two reasons why. A, we've had a lot of injury news that we've had to digest and look up. Secondly, I've also had a very busy week. I've gone for a promotion at work, we've had someone leave at work, and I had poker late last night on Friday. So there has not been any way to get this video out probably earlier than when it has come out. Hopefully it finds you in time before the deadline. It should do, even if you're still in the UK where a lot of my viewers are watching from. But let's get straight into it. Let's touch on game week. Game week 11, and let's bring up the Excel spreadsheet. Oh, I love this thing. Look, I'm going to put this out there, and I know everyone's saying it, and I'm going to say it to you. It was a good week to have a bad week, because everybody had a bad week. This is one of the worst game weeks for points that I've ever seen on my time playing FPL. I've been playing on and off since 2013, properly for the last couple of years. 7 mil rank, down from 12 to 17k or 18k basically, I should say. It's only a 5k drop, and to be fair, I got 27 points and I was still relatively happy. I think my punt of the week was going way over Gordon. I tossed up between the two. Gordon would have got me 2 points, and Gordon would have only got me a rank drop of like 1 or 2k. So it's still not great, but it wasn't like the worst decision. And then, yeah, it is what it is. Look, I've actually used live FPL for today just to show you that, my safety was 32. An extra couple points would have got me to 29. That would have kept me in and around. Like elite managers and top 10k managers were only getting 28, and I got 27. So I'm not over the, too disheartened, so to say. Let's go through the points. Areola, they haven't kept clean sheets, but we've got him in for this run coming up. Now, Turner is out, and Turner, I will say, is a keeper that is, obviously just been dropped. I have no initial intentions of selling him. If I decide not to make any transfers this week, I will sell him. Obviously, Maddison is out for a while, and he's going to be the main person we speak about here. But I just want to speak about the back four. Trippier, you pay the premium, beautiful. Simicast got benched. I kind of half expected this after he played 90 minutes for us in the Cabaret Cup. The only reason I went for him was I was like, if he does start, he's probably going to keep a clean sheet, which would not have happened anyway. So I decided to go with that over the Gordon pick. Probably a mistake in hindsight. Cash was cash. We now know he's fit. And Gueye, who I picked over Gordon for that spot, did get a clean sheet, and it was okay. The midfield is the midfield. Look, I didn't captain any of them, which is great. But yeah, look, Son, Maddison, Diaby, and Salah, Son's a whisker away from getting a return. But yeah, look, it was a bad week to have a bad. It was a good week to have a bad week. It is what it is. Haaland, 2 points, came off at half time. Doesn't seem to be too injured moving forward, and Darwin's Darwin. So there we are. If you look at my bench, though, very much a pain. Obviously, if Gordon comes in and plays for anybody that blanked, we're on a green arrow. And if I somehow played Archer, which I have done once this season and it's paid off, and I did think about it for a second, but I'm not going to sit here and say I was going to do it, then Archer would have been in as well. I always think, can I play Archer in a week? Because I think he's very good. That means my team looks like this. And as you guys know, I am going to be discussing Maddison heavily, because I do love the guy, and unfortunately he's out for a long time, which I think makes Son a worse asset as well, but we'll discuss all of that in a second. The team itself outside of this does look very, very, very good. I've got no issues with Ariel playing against Forest. Hopefully West Ham finally keep a clean sheet. Cash has been past fit. That's the first big tick, and the main reason this video is out late was to see the fitness of Cash and Haaland. Cash tick. That means my back three is playing Bournemouth, Fulham, and Everton, 2 of them at home, and I'm benching Simicast, and that main reason for benching Simicast is because we have Brentford, and I expect Mbeumo to score. Now, there is a couple things that we could do with having Simicast, is that we could actually move Maddison to someone else, and then keep funds in the bank and move to a 3-4-3, and use Simicast this game week just to cover Maddison. And what I mean by that is that we could move maybe Maddison down to a 4.5 mil playing, midfielder, and then go to an Alvarez, for instance, for their upcoming fixtures, Manchester City, because they're starting the turn. I don't know if I will, but it is maybe an idea. Anyhow, let's discuss the rest of the midfielders before we circle back to Maddison in depthly. And that's Diaby against Fulham, Son against Wolves, Gordon against Bournemouth, Salah against Brentford with the armband. Now, I'm going to say a couple of things here. Salah with the armband at Anfield generally will return, so snap the armband on him, easy decision. Diaby, obviously against Fulham, this is probably one of the last games I'm going to keep Diaby for before his fixtures do decide to turn a little bit. I know Spurs, especially with the injuries, they maybe could go crazy, and then they got Bournemouth, so I could hold him for the next two. But I really think if he doesn't return against Fulham, I think it's an easy sell. If he returns against Fulham, we might keep him. As well to try and cover off Watkins slightly a little bit more. Gordon's never leaving. I think Gordon at the moment with the injuries Newcastle have is nailed as nailed can be. He could even play up front, and the guy is playing out of his skin. I'm just glad he doesn't play for Everton anymore, and we're going to obviously keep Gordon for a very long time. He's a very good enabler. On top of that as well, we've got Haaland and Darwin up front. And look, Haaland past fit, definitely going to stay in my team, not going to be moving him on. And Darwin Núñez against Brentford, hopefully will have a better finishing day and should have returned last week and hopefully will return this week. So that is what the team looks like, which definitely means that Maddison is the guy that's going to come out now. Maddison, 7.8 mil is what I can sell him for, which means I got 8.3. I bought him at 7.5, so that's beautiful to pick up 0.3 there. Hopefully he gets better soon, because I've been saying a lot, I have no intention of selling Maddison to Saka. And the main reason for that, if Maddison doesn't get injured, I honestly think he's getting 200 plus points this season, and so is Son. Now, the reason why I think Maddison becomes worse for Son is Maddison's the main creative outlet, he's the one that drops in, he's the one that links up play, he's the big ticking factor in that team. I don't think Rodrigo Bentancur, who I think will come into that sort of role because he's a bit more creative as well, is going to be the guy that does that. Obviously, Charlton's also out too, so I don't know where Spurs' creativity is going to come from. But Ange is a good enough manager. I still think Spurs win games of football and score goals, so Son's not going to leave immediately. That gives us options, and there's a few options that I want to discuss, and I'm going to go over to Fantasy Football Hub for this. One option, before I even get into it, was actually mentioned on a comment. Well done for, what's your name, Arrow? Arrow, here we go. This is bad of me, I apologise. Let me get this out of the way. Arrow Rims, Arrow, wanting to know about Doku. No interest in Doku. I know he got a big point last game week, and I know that he's a fantastic footballer to watch when he does start. They're not playing Bournemouth this week, and Pep Roulette is funny, and with Chelsea, Liverpool and Spurs coming up, I expect Grealish probably to start 2 of the next 3 in his role, because he's a little bit more senior and knows the system a bit better. I will say Doku is on my wish list for game week 19, game week 20, and beyond, because if he plays both games in the double, he's great, and if he plays one of the 2 games in the double, I think he can still get good points if we get the confirmed double in game week 20. So, with that being said, I think Doku is a guy that maybe in the future, but not right now, not with these fixtures and not with Pep Roulette. That means I've got 8.3 mil to spend. Let's go to the team and see what the AI want me to do. Before it was telling me to sell, Guehi out the team, which I found was very funny with his current fixtures. So let's see what it tells me to do with Maddison. Now, I've got an idea before it loads up. My idea is actually Bruno Fernandes this week, and I know everyone's going to go that and go, you're crazy. Oh, yes. Yes, thank you, game. There we go. They want me to go Maddison down to Mitoma and then get Diaby to Bruno, or go Maddison down to Bruno. Why Bruno Fernandes, everybody? Well. There's a reason for Bruno. Okay, we'll do it on this game. Fernandes. I can afford him at 8.3 mil because he's just come down in value. Just got 11-pointer. Just scored in midweek. They got Luton, then Everton. Now, Luton away from home, I definitely wouldn't do this. But Luton at home, I would consider. And the main reason for considering Luton at home is mainly down to the fact that they're not going to be as defensively solid. I don't know what's going to happen with this Saka injury. And I think Bruno would be an absolutely great pick. Now, if I needed to get the Saka, it's 2 moves for me, and he's not 100% fit. I don't think I'm getting Saka in this week. Secondly, Arsenal's numbers have been poor. They're nearly as bad as Man United's attacking numbers, and I'm looking at a United asset. And with that being said, I don't think, there's a good real a real good reason to go for Arsenal at the moment. I know they've got a good fixture against Burnley, and everyone expects them to turn, etc. But nothing's clicked for them moving forward. Jesus is out as well. I don't think it's a good time to go for Saka and Arsenal. I reckon this is a great game week to let's see what happens with Saka if he starts or not, which I think he will, but he won't play a full 90. Give him the international break, and then maybe break my team to get to away from this. But I'm thinking it's Bruno Fernandes. We then hold him for next week, and then the week after we move Diaby down to Cole Palmer, which would then free up funds. Right, Cole Palmer. I love that you can't put first names. Cole Palmer, right? Which would then free up funds for me to go Bruno up to Saka if we want to. That's if we want to. Now, I could do both those moves this week and have 1.3 mil in the bank, and get ahead of the curve. My only issue is Saka's not fit, and I don't think we want to go on Palmer just yet, only because they got Man City Newcastle. In 2 weeks' time, and get Brighton, and then they have a good run of fixtures, I probably would. So, I'm thinking right now, Maddison to Bruno is the move. Hopefully he plays really well. That means next week, Matty Cash, by the way, is making the team here and switching him out for Simicas. That gives me a 95 game week, 96 rank, and gives me the exact money in the team. Now, that means my team probably sits and looks very similar for next week. If anything, I'll probably make, as long as there's no injuries, I'll probably make the move for Cole Palmer, maybe, because they've got Spurs there, and I might move the Palmer, or I might go to Mitoma to target Nottingham Forest for a week. And then the week after, Mitoma goes to Palmer, who I think Brighton, Man United, Everton's still fine. And then we move Bruno on to, probably Saka, because they go Wolves, Luton, Aston Villa, and after Aston Villa, I think their fixtures are still okay. Yeah, Brighton, scoreable, they haven't kept the clean sheet, then they got us. So I'll probably go to something like that moving forward. That still give me 1.3 mil in the bank, and that allows me to go and get, Taylor, or by that stage, if Robertson's going to be back, to the guy that I really want in this team is Levi Colwill, because I just think he's nailed, he's going to play minutes, and he's going to be very, very, very good for Chelsea. So with that being said, that's my intentions. It's Bruno Fernandes this week. The only other person I could see myself moving to is Jared Bowen, because he goes, and Bowen at the moment, if we go back to our actual game week here, has got Forest and Burnley, and I could go Bowen for Forest, Burnley, hold him for Palace, hold him that little bit longer. It's not the worst move. I just think having Bruno for Luton then Everton isn't bad. I just think Bruno is a good placeholder in the interim. Only problem is if I do want to go to Bowen after that, he gets Spurs, Fulham, Wolves, Man United. This isn't bad either. I don't know. It's got to be Bruno, more than likely. It might be Bowen. I have no interest in Doku, and I don't think this is the time to go for Saka just with the injury cloud, etc. Now, if we got the team news out of nowhere that on the deadline streams that Saka is fit and available and 100% going to start, maybe I move Diaby out. But I'm going to take Diaby against Fulham. I'm going to go to Bruno Fernandes or Bowen and really do what I want to do. If I do go to Bowen, it allows me to move Diaby down, have more money to put money into the back line, and maybe I might even move for Reece James moving forward, considering he's fit at the moment, but we'll wait and we'll see. With that all being said, hopefully that finds you well and in time of the deadline. Don't go for Doku. That's my biggest tip. Give it a like. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Thank you yet again for checking out what we should do with James Maddison. Hopefully, he's not going down in price as well before we get rid of this. Price change. Mr. Maddison, are you going down again? Maddison is at 123% progression. He's going down. Oh, okay. So I'm going to have to make this move now for Bruno or not. I might indeed. This might be Bruno Fernandes in the episode. Maybe not. Maybe it's that. Maybe we go Bruno for a 2-game week punt. I'll see you guys next time. Thank you very much. Have a great one, and goodbye.